should know how to defeat that bell. This is a talk that's mainly for my connected devices class, but I thought I'd share an abbreviated version here. It's normally an hour long, it'll be 5 minutes. It's an attempt to what Clay calls flooding the basement. So many of you know I've been interested in connected devices for a long time. I did my first one in 1999. It was a piano to sonify internet traffic. Didn't really work so well, but it did get me started. That got me into teaching networked objects, which many of you suffered through. And it's been kind of an interesting journey. Nowadays, of course, it's gone from being a weird little side thing to being a big business. And the area's been getting a lot of investment cash under the term Internet of Things. So let's talk about where the term came from. Kevin Ashton at MIT came up with this term originally in 1999. He was looking at new applications for RFID, and his vision worked a bit like this. He basically said, if we had computers that knew everything that there was to know about things, using data they gathered without any help from us, we'd be able to track and count everything, greatly reduce waste, less, and cost. And he's kind of going a little Skynet on us there. But then he goes full-on Skynet when he says the problem is people. People have limited time, attention, and accuracy, all of which means they're not very good at capturing data about things in the real world. So he's basically telling us we're no good, we should get out of the way. This, as I said, is big business. And here's a survey of what the Internet of Things market looks like right now. So we start with things about tracking your access, and then we talk about tracking your activity, a few of those. Getting into tracking your weight. Tracking your stuff is also a really biggie. After we track your stuff, we track your pets, because we're all nuts about our pets, right? Then we track your driving. We track your eggs, that goes in your internet fridge. We track your guns. We track your family. We track your babies. We track your temperature. We turn on your lights. That's actually my favorite. We turn on your outlets. After we turn on your outlets, we got to think, well, we've got all these things, we have to connect them all together, so we make different tools for connecting them all together. Even Staples is getting now into the business of connecting all your things together. So the point of all that is that I think that there is an axis or a spectrum to be looked at here. The values of the Internet of Things is really all about automation and data collection, whereas a lot of what we've been doing here at ITP is around internet interaction and expression. And we've made some interesting expressions about this over the years. Before there were glow caps, for example, there was Junkie's Little Helper, a project from about 2002, a medicine cabinet for Courtney Love that interrupts whenever she's in a chat room and tells you if she's high. This was before social media, of course. Before there was Pet Cube, a tool that allows you to play with your cats from home, there was Dan Meitzell's Hello Kitty project from 2003, a cat feeder and cat dancer, where, again, you played with your cats from home. We've been doing many cat projects over the years, but cats are very 2003 at ITP now, and as of 2013, we have crabs. Before there was the Sonos system, there was the base station. This is Mark Argo presenting at SIGGRAPH. And basically it's a station that allows you to share and exchange music locally rather than on the net. The point was to share music together, not remotely, because that's when music is fun. Before there was Apple TV, of course there was Codec. Sean and company worked on a beta deck that was a video sharing service, and the part that was important about it was that you could sit here in the lounge and watch them together. And of course before there was the Parrot Flower Power, there was Botanicals, where when your plants needed love, they'd call you up and talk to you in funny voices. Before we had Webkins, of course, we had the Needies, which were codependent toys that would talk shit about each other's back, behind each other's back when you gave them love. So there are a lot of projects sort of commenting on these trends even before these trends came around. But last I want to talk about the remote hub. This is one of the most frequent projects that comes up at ITP. Clay refers to it as phatic communication over distance, but I think remote hug is more fun. It's basically the anti-Internet of Things. These things don't actually communicate anything except for the idea that I'm thinking about you. This one here, for example, the heart beats faster when your lover's coming closer to you. Doria Fan, when she did this network flower, pointed out, she made this for her dad, that the process of making it connected her to him more than its actual operation. And this is a very common theme in these projects, that it's actually about the relationship, not the connection, and that the relationship isn't always one of trackable activities. It's not an easily scalable business model, and I don't think there really is any money in it, which is why perhaps the only commercial project that's ever come out about it, the Goodnight Lamp, is going out of business. So finally, the point I want to make here, I just want to bring up one of my latest favorite ITP of Things projects, Alison Birch's Log Jammer. It's a log, it's got a cell phone jammer in it. And what she's getting at is something that I think is important. We're going to see a backlash against this total data collection in the Internet of Things, because ultimately what it comes down to is that we really want to focus on relationships rather than and the activities that support it rather than the data surrounding it. I think that's what's going to be more long-lasting, and that's where I'm going to stop. Thank you.